She just straight up said that. Alright, let's press this one, I guess. Why not? Eh, didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the young detective. And then, after some rubbish about it being a secret, pal, he told me everything. I see Detective Gumshoe shares his fellow officer's fondness for donuts. Okay, now let me show you something real quick. You see down here it says October 15th, 2 p.m. photo number 2. And I think that's the answer. However, I don't know whether I have to press it at this, or to present it at this statement or this one. I think it's this one. I could be wrong. Objection! Ah, it is. Yes. Objection. Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate of the studios, correct? Yes, there is, Sonny. So whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture? And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground. Right. Anyway, it is also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data. Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening. That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words October 15th, 2 p.m. photo number 2. Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny? Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2. Photo number 2? The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it's really the only photo? Order! Order! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not 1, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there's only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access. The security lady herself. Eh? You watch your mouth, whippersnapper! The only person I saw that day was Will Powers. But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by. Well, yes, that's what it would seem to me. Can the witness explain this to the court? I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Eddie boy, help! Huh? Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either. Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too! Whippersnapper? Something the matter, Miss Oldbag? Ah, that's right! I just remembered something. Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai? Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way. I see. Your testimony, please. Okay, so it seems there was another person. And what's that? Go through the photos. Okay. They aren't suspicious looking. So she did throw out one photo. Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this. Well, of course, Sonny. I've only just remembered it. Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination. Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this. Alright. Okay, I don't think we need to... Yeah, I think we need to press this statement. Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased? Oh, a fanboy? Fanboy? Steel Samurai fanboys, real freaks if you ask me. They get information about their rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. When was there at that day? Well, wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words. Well, you must know there's a train that goes into the employee area. The grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside, well, that's where they come in. They come in through the drain? I told you they were freaks. Oh, and? They're kids! Children! Whippersnappers! Kids? So on the photo that you erased, it was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade. What? Oh, well that's kind of unfortunate then. Order. Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day? One was a steel samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about 2nd or 3rd grade. Oh yes, well we see this type here every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him. The boy are 2nd and 3rd grade. I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear? Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy. Right, as I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there, that makes him a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. I'd like to take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider the new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. Well then, that was a turn for the unexpected, I suppose. Mr. WP? Yes? Tell me straight, were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio? I didn't go to the studio, I was sleeping, honest. So who was the Steel Samurai in that security photo? How should I know? Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really. What? You should take better care of that stuff. Well, I couldn't imagine he would want to steal a Steel Samurai costume. So, where does this leave me? It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick! Well, what are we going to do? First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this. Right. And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. Right, but if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go. What did this mean? Please don't sigh like that. Man. What a sap. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter? The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there's still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts? The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime. Order! Interesting. Let us hear what you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly in accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right, great. As if the stakes weren't high enough. So who was this person other than Mr. Powers who could have committed murder? Well, can't be the assistant girl because she was cleaning up props and had no idea about Will Powers' ankle. Couldn't have been the grade school boy, we already eliminated him, he's only 10. So the only other person that it could possibly be is the security lady. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Hey! The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching this action scene run through. There's only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag. What? Whippersnapper? So yes, we're accusing Wendy Oldbag of killing Jack Hammer. Order. Is this true, Oldbag? Oldbag? That's Miss Oldbag to you. Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume, then slipped in the studio on the scene of the murder. Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in this costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you don't think I did it? Is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something! What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way? Give Granny a break. Hell no! The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day. But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer? You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. That did it. Now Oldbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope. Wait just a minute! What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy! The one whose photo I erased! He's only a grade schooler, though, as you said. 2nd or 3rd grade, was it? That doesn't matter! When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops! Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? That boy is not the killer. What? How could you be so sure? Oh, is it nice to be nice to the kids and be mean to the elders day? Whippersnapper! I have proof. But proof? Indeed. And let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder? Well, didn't we already talk about this? I think we already talked about it. Actually, I don't know. Because there's one of two things that I'm thinking about. First of all, it's too heavy. He couldn't have wielded the weapon. Secondly, it's Steel Samurai costume, and he's too small. Let's see. Let's try the spear first. Actually, yeah. Your Honor, the murder weapon was the samurai spear. There we go. That very spear is shown here in this photo. How could the boy have taken the spear? It's impossible. I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? The windbag, speechless. That has got to be a first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings in the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Wendy... What was her name? Something Oldbag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this Oldbag before we continue. That is all. The court is adjourned. Wait a second! I'm not going to just sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me! I'm talking! What? Oh great, stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk. Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony? Actually, you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about. Not to talk about? By whom? Huh? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? Well, testify. Huh. There were other people at the studios? Ah, so some nice cover-up from the top dogs at the studios, it seems. Good show, Oldbag, good show. Ah, the power of the Oldbag. It's not a bad dream. This is actually good for us. This testimony is good for us because it casts doubt on even more people. Hold it! Who are these people? Subjecting the producer. Sorry, I'm not doing her voice. I don't think I'm gonna do her voice anymore because it's starting to hurt my throat. If I do it, I'll start coughing up a fit. That is actually interesting. Of course, there had to be a director. The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through, and they joined the producer around lunchtime, and then they had a meeting. The Studio 2 trailer. Studio 2? Well, if you look at the map, there's definitely a studio too. Okay, so I guess we'll be investigating that area. Now once you press that statement, you don't have to cross-examine anymore, and I'm not, so we're gonna take a break. Yeah. Impossible. I understand, Your Honor. Alright, so the court is adjourned for real this time. So we bought another day. Will Powers is not guilty yet. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me. Oh really, it's nothing. Or should I say or should I We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigation. We have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So Nick, have we figured out just who it was in that Steel Samurai costume? Could it really have been Miss Old Windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really. Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Poor old Windbag, I kind of feel sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios. Right, we'll be back to visit you soon. Thanks guys. Alright, thus ends the first trial of Case 3, Turnabout Samurai. And that's going to be the end of this episode. I will see you guys in the next episode where we take on the second investigation of third case. Hope you all enjoyed this part. Please leave a like if you did. This has been Smileyz, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.